And I am so pleased. You know, I love history, and I love to see these historical dramas. And this one is about a book called Drums Along the Mohawk, and they're doing an outdoor drama. And I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves so that I don't get mixed up. Jeff?
I'm Jeff Tu. I'm property manager at Gelston Castle Estate.
And where is that?
It's located in Mohawk, New York.
And how far is that from the Capital District?
About an hour and a half.
Okay, and that's south, right?
No, it's west. It's west along.
I guess I don't know much about geography, but I do like history.
It's right in the Mohawk Valley.
Okay, good. And
I'm at Countermine. I'm acting the show as well as stage managing the show.
Okay, good.
I'm George Filieau. I'm acting in the show and doing as little managing as possible.
Oh, stop. He's such a good, he's been on the show before. And John, or I don't know who's first. Go ahead, you go first.
I'm Jeremy Kester. I'm going to be playing Gil Martin in the show.
Okay.
Hello.
And you're the only woman on the set. Oh my goodness.
Am.
You need something to stand on, I think.
I'm a little small. My name is Sarah Cordts, and I will be playing Lana Martin in the drama.
Okay. And John is over there on the end.
I'm John Reheuser. I'm the only Indian here on the show. And I'm playing the second in command of Chief Joseph Brandt.
Okay. What we should know is, first of all, give our viewers just an overview of what this is about. And I'll let you start, Jeff.
Well, for the last 3 years, we've had different events at the castle. The estate is called Gelston Castle Estate, and it was a land grant by George II to his royal physician, a man named Henderson, and it became the estate most notably associated with James Monroe, his niece, Fanny Monroe Douglas lived there, as well as Theodore Roosevelt's sister, Corin Roosevelt Robinson, and the composer Mstislav Rostropovich, who purchased the estate in the 70s. Okay. And at the estate, we've done a number of Revolutionary War reenactments. The first one was drums above the Mohawk, because we're 1,200 feet above the Mohawk. The second one was drums on the Mohawk. We had 13 historic bateaux fighting on the Mohawk River. And last year we did drums around the Mohawk, which was the prelude to what we're doing here, which is to show the local history. And this is part of the 235th commemoration of the Battle of Oriskany, which was the single bloodiest battle in American history in terms of the number of combatants. And this was part of the Saratoga campaign of 1777, when the British attempted to divide and rule by splitting the New England colonies at New York.
Okay, that's...
What we wanted to do up at the estate, again, we couldn't call it Drums Along the Mohawk for obvious reasons, because there's, liabilities and, those things like... So we did secure, finally, the rights to Walter Edmonds, who's a local boy from Boonville, and the book became the famous movie Drums Along the Mohawk with Henry Fonda,
yes,
whose family was part of the Revolution.
Really?
Yes, they are founders of Fonda, New York, actually.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy,
So it's something to know about local history.
Oh, boy, slap my hand. I need to read a little bit more. Can you, and Jeff is a reenactor.
Yes, I've been a reenactor. I was DAR Teacher of the Year for 2006 for all of New York State.
Let's talk about what they're wearing, because and who's the costume person?
Most of it's mine.
Oh, okay. Well, then we're gonna let Jeff do it, right?
Well,
if you want to stand up, that's
sure.
Great.
This is a militia costume clothing. I'm a captain of militia. If you notice, I'm wearing what's called a frock coat, but you can see I have a sash, which designates me as an officer. I also have a sword, which is the primary thing. If you look at General Herkimer over here, he has around his neck a gorget, which symbolizes that he's under arms, which is what a sword is, your arms, hence to keep and bear arms. And he also carries a sword, and his sword frog has a symbol of authority. So these are common clothes. You have buckle shoes and stockings, and the familiar, what we call the cocked hat, not a tricorn hat, some people call it.
Oh, that's not a tricorn?
No, we don't use the term tricorn in the 18th century. It's a cocked hat. The soldiers took the ribbons and they made the hat so that the muskets wouldn't knock it off. They had floppy hats. So you'll see also that the fellow here, Mr. Waggoner, he is also dressed as a frontiersman. His costume is more of a hunting frock. These kind of help the water drain off and that capillary effect, the fringes on that. In the back, our lovely lady here who's wearing the 18th century gown, if she wants to come on front, or we can move over here.
She can come around.
Clothing is very important in the 18th century. She's obviously a lady. She's not a washerwoman or someone doing, menial or work. So she's well dressed. Something you don't want to show in the 18th century if you're a female is your ankles and your elbows. So, in the back, our native, he'll come around. You can see he's wearing somewhat traditional dress, but at this time period, the natives had been trading with Europeans for over 150 years about. So a lot of it is, manufactured things, but he has the skins and the moccasin shoes as opposed to the European buckled shoes. He's wearing what's called a breech clout, which covers his front here, and a shirt over it. And they like decorations, of course, the headdress and the band around his head. And our last one is Gil Martin. He would be what an average person actually in the Mohawk Valley would be wearing, your common garb of your local fellows, regular folks. He's not a wealthy person, but he's, well dressed for the occasion.
These costumes, you're the costume manager here or whatever?
Well, I've had experience, yes. I've been doing this for probably over 20 years.
Where do you get these is what I mean, I'm not going to go into my local mart somewhere and pick these off the shelf. They must be custom made.
Yes, there are people in the hobby who do work. There's some kind of what we'd call, I guess, the Walmart of reenacting. One is James Townsend. They're on the web, and you can get some of the clothing as well from them. But if you go out to Mohawk on the 4th and 5th of August for the Battle of Oriskany and the 4th at 5 o'clock for the drums performance, we have what are called sutlers. So anybody out there who'd like to outfit themselves like this, it's quite comfortable, particularly in the fall and winter, and not too good in the summertime.
That's wool.
Yeah, when it's 100 degrees out.
Very heavy. Oh my gosh. But he did not come dressed like this.
No, the event has sutlers, and they sell everything from all manner of 18th century items. You can buy kettles, you can buy teapots, and you can also buy the clothes as well.
Okay, why don't we have a minute more? Why don't we tell our viewers what they would find if they went to Mohawk on that weekend of the 3rd and 4th, I think it is, and and especially to see this production? How would that be?
Well, what you're going to see is about 2,000 plus reenactors.
And we have the photos there.
Yeah, they're portraying, this is our rack card. We have this all around the Capital District area and other places. What you have is about 2,000 reenactors, and they're dressed native costumes. We have the natives, the Mohawks particularly, who were involved in this. We also have many militiamen. We have the British, would be Sir John Johnson's Royal Greens. John Johnson was William Johnson's son, and he, of course, had to flee to Canada because he was a loyalist. So you'll be seeing loyalists fighting their neighbors, who are what we call the Patriots today, many of whom lost their property to the Loyalists and were driven out when, of course, the Declaration of Independence and then the Proclamation of the United States of America. So this was a very, very distressful and destructive battle for the Mohawk Valley, and it caused lots of damage, burning of houses and farms. This was up close and personal. This was not your battlefields out in the the European sense of two armies clashing on a field. This is people raiding houses, burning farms, and the Battle of Oriskany, which, as I said, was the bloodiest day in American history in terms of number of combatants. Neighbors were fighting neighbors, and this broke the chain of peace of the Iroquois Confederacy, what we call the Haudenosaunee. And that's why it's so significant, and that's why we're having people come out and see the drama, because the drama is associated with the plot line of the Battle of Oriskany. So you're going to be seeing not only large-scale fighting. We have, we're going to be doing the Saratoga campaign as well, Bemis Heights and Freeman's Farm. And we have a what-if kind of thing, if Benedict Arnold had been able to relieve the siege at Fort Stanwix in Rome. So this goes from Saratoga, Albany, all the way out to Rome, New York, and the western frontier, right through the Mohawk Valley. It's only an hour and a half away, and we certainly love to have people come and see that.
Seems to me it would be, we went to a reenactment once, and it was just absolutely fascinating, and we loved it. I think that if you are looking for something for your kids, this is really what better way to learn a little history. I suppose I should read more now that I know about Fonda, but anyway, it's important to get up and close and personal with history sometime, and this is a way to do it. Are you all having a good time with it?
Yes, definitely.
We're loving it.
Okay, good. And it's great to see you. I know some of you have been on before with other shows that you've done, and it's always a pleasure to promote good history, good acting, Good fun, good family fun, and this is a place to do it. Go down to Mohawk on August 3rd and 4th, is that correct?
August
Or 4th
4th
and
and
5th.
5th.
Sorry, I
yes,
got
make
the
sure.
dates right.
www.gelstonCastleEstate.com and www.oriskany212.org.
Yes, and we also have the website for the Drums Along the Mohawk, and you get your tickets there too. So thank you for being here. What a great, you guys look wonderful, you really do.
Thank you very